Hi again, everyone. Again, this is Anita Innocent, and I just wanted to let you to speak about COVID-19 again and who is at risk. It will be a short recording. I just want to remind you all that I am a registered nurse. I'm an advanced nurse practitioner, and within my remit as a nurse, I feel very confident in making this recording for you today again. I posted a previous video on the COVID-19 virus and some of the things that you should look out for in terms of protection and what it is all about. And I didn't go into depths about the virus itself, what it is, but today I just want to answer some questions where I had phone calls from people from my last recording asking about who is at risk. So my video today is mainly about those who are at risk. And I want you to share this with your friends, your family, and anyone that you know. I'm not going to give you any fake or false information. First of all, I want to let you know that this virus is real. I'm not going to talk about anything that anyone has to say, whether it is with any other network or anything like that. I'm just dealing with the virus because people are contracting a virus, and that is COVID-19. It started in 2019. That is why it's called COVID-19. And people are dying. And people are dying every single day. Here in the UK and around the world, people are dying. And those people that are dying are some people that does not have any comorbidity, which they call which they say is any other underlying conditions. People, healthy people, are dying. The youngest child was about 5 years old. Fit and healthy people are dying from the virus. In my last recording, I asked people to try and eat healthy, rest, and take their supplements. Their supplements is not to kill the virus. The supplements is to ensure that your immune system is built up strong enough so that you can fight this virus, which I will talk to more at the end. But today I want to speak to you about who is at risk. There is a long list of people that are at risk, and there are people who are called high risk. First of all, everybody is at risk to get the virus, whether you're healthy or whether you're having an underlying condition. But just to specify, the reason why I'm doing this is because some people don't get access to the internet. Some people, they do have phones and they are having internet access via their phones, and they don't know where to search for things, but it's always easy to send a message or a clip to someone. So first to begin, the groups of people that are at risk: pregnant women, all pregnant women, 70-year-olds and over. If they do not have any underlying condition, they're still at risk. 70-year-old still at risk with underlying conditions. You have chronic respiratory disease. People may have asthma, they may have COPD, which is called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, emphysema, and bronchitis, which is infection of the lungs. You have chronic diseases, heart disease and heart failure and on medication, chronic kidney disease and kidney failures, liver disease such as hepatitis, cirrhosis of the liver, chronic neurological condition like Parkinson's, motor neuron system, multiple sclerosis, and some learning disability. And they would say, why would someone with learning disability be at risk? I want you to understand that if they cannot understand the concept of the coronavirus and how it is spread, they may be challenging to their carer, so they may not comply to infection control, so they are at risk. Cerebral palsy, people with diabetes, type 1, type 2, and there are people with uncontrolled diabetes as well. You are at risk. Spleen disease, people who have sickle cell, you are at risk. Weakened immune system because of HIV or medicines such as chemotherapy. Your BMI is high from over 40, or you're considered to be obese. I'm sorry for people who are having a high BMI, but I need to let you know as well. Subset groups, they are a high risk as well. Some people do not understand how serious the impact is. And there are higher risk group people with organ transplants, because they are on immunosuppressant for their transplant not to fail. People that are having cancer, leukemia, or on chemotherapy. You are having radiology treatment. You having lung cancer, people who have bone marrow disease, leukemia, lymphoma, myelomas. You're on immune therapy, antibodies, treatment for cancer. I just want to put out there, some people might have things like rheumatoid arthritis as well. The thing is that you may be having medication that may also suppress some of your immune system. And I want you to understand that I've written everything down for you to understand. I want to speak to the people who usually who are smokers. Smokers, you put yourself at risk, because if you understand that you have to take your cigarette out of your pack, you have to put it in your mouth, and also you smoke the cigarette as well. So putting a cigarette in your mouth with your hands come in contact with your mouth as well can put you at risk for exposure for the virus. And also, if you're smoking, you are also putting yourself at risk and reducing your lung capacity. And if you reduce your lung capacity, which is to take in oxygen, you increase your risk of when this virus, or if you come in contact with this virus. Those of you that are drinking, yes, people might say, I'm having a drink because it kills the virus. No, it goes to your stomach. It doesn't go to your lungs. It doesn't go to your airway tract, because if it does go to your airway tract, you will cough it up. So when you drink alcohol usually depresses your immune system. You may not know that, but it does. And I want you to understand that you don't know who has the virus. There are people that will carry the virus and they look very, very fit and healthy. In my last recording, I told you that we saw 2 patients who had no symptoms of the virus, but it was shown on the x-rays. I did have some x-rays to show to you. It doesn't show the patient details. It's confidential. But because of the fact that I can't bring it up on the screen at the moment, but I shared it with some people, if you lose capacity in your lungs because you got the virus would usually cause you to get pneumonia. And because you get the pneumonia, your lungs become full with fluid, it becomes scarred, and your capacity in your lungs is reduced. Unfortunately, and I do have sympathy towards people who've lost relatives here, because they had to be taken out the ventilator, because being on the ventilator, there was no way that the patient would be getting any oxygen in, because they've lost more than 75% of their lungs capacity, and there was no way that they were going to get any oxygen in for the other organs. The other organs was dying. And this is what happens when you lose lung capacity. And if your system is not fighting the infection, the virus, if your system is weak and it cannot fight the virus, then your condition gets worse. If you have the virus and they say to you to self-isolate and stay at home, it doesn't make sense you doing anything, because the way you feel so unwell, you have pains, you can't breathe, you can't work. But the first thing that the government is asking everyone is to adhere to the quarantine and to stay at home and not to go in public places where there is crowd and have there are people still breaking the rules and going into the park, and people were still having parties and people ignoring the rules. I want to tell you something. You can't be that selfish and put other people at risk. The NHS is under tremendous pressure at the moment. They are under tremendous pressure. The healthcare system is under tremendous problems, and they're trying to cope. And the best thing for you to do, number one, is to self-isolate and to be at home. If you don't need to be outside, please do not go outside. Another thing I want to encourage you as well, those of you that are at risk, having vitamins and supplements and eating and resting does not kill the virus. What it does is that it ensures that your immune system becomes strong. As I said, your body has your soldiers, which is your immune system. And if your soldiers is going to fight without ammunition and without supplies, they're gonna lose the battle. So what you need to do is to ensure that you eat well. I came across some very good vitamin B complex and some supplements that I normally take every day, because I'm always at risk of getting the flu, because I'm always in the environment where people are unwell. And I always use it. And my advice to you is to please eat and drink well, take your supplements, exercise, do your respiratory exercise. Those of you with COPD, do your exercises. If you have a back garden and you can walk, just walk around and at least do a bit of exercise, and stay indoors. Right now, there are people who the government is assigning to help in the neighborhood. If you have a neighborhood champion, someone who can help, someone who can get your drugs, those of you who are unwell and cannot go to the drugstore, you can send someone to the drugstore and to get your medication and come back. Please, I want to encourage you to do not go outside if you don't need to. As I said, you cannot tell who has the virus. And if you're walking into an environment where someone has the virus, you don't know. That person might be well enough and they might have a good immune system, and your system might not be good enough. So please, if you need help, there's so much numbers floating around over the entire world where you can call to get some help for someone to get your groceries or your medication. And if you're really struggling to get advice, as I said, I'm quite happy to answer your questions if you want me to. I gave my number out previously. I'll give it again, which is 0741-285-7197, or you can just drop me a comment or drop me a question, and I'm quite happy to answer you. And if I don't have the answers, I know where I can go and get the answers for you. There's lots of information going around, and I want to advise people, please do not get caught up in the false information. Another thing I want to tell people is that please do not go and spend your money out there trying to get face masks and gloves, etc. on fake websites. If you need advice on where to buy or where to get, please, you can also call me or message me, text me, and I can tell you. where to go and get some of these things. I cannot say 100% that the cloth face mask is working, but if you reinforced it or maybe put 3 layers or 4 layers, I don't know. I haven't tried one before, and I've tried one with a bandana or a scarf, and I blew out a light. So it means that air was coming in and out, which means it's big enough to bring in particles. So paper, I will talk to you about wearing gloves and mask and all of these things in my next recording. But today is basically for those who are at risk. I had a phone call from someone who asked me about the child having stomach issues and a medication. Everyone, if you're not well or you're on medication, I will not say that you're not at risk, but if you're on medication, certain medications have certain types of side effects that may put you at risk. So you need to understand what the side effects are. And my advice to you is, if you don't have any need to go outside, please stay at home. This virus is real. Trust me, I'm working out there. This virus is real. And don't go about with any fake things at the moment. Just look at the virus as the virus and try and protect yourself. Okay? I just want to again say to you all, be safe, be sensible. And if you don't need to go outside, don't go outside. Those of you that I called out some of the disease, and there are many, many, many more conditions out there that are at risk. I just call the most common ones out. And you be safe. If you have any questions, again, you can always message me, text me. I'm happy. And I would stand firm on the information that I've given to you. As I said to you, I'm an advanced practitioner and I am registered, and I am quite happy to do whatever it takes to help you all to stay safe and not to contract this virus. Okay, people are dying outside there. People are dying, so please stay safe and listen. Okay? Don't be a hero. We are not Superman, we are not Superwoman, not Spider-Man, and no Flash. Let us be safe. Okay? And you stay blessed. Bye.